All right, so the new Roubaix is out. This is the only video out there right now. Everyone's just doing adverts. Specialized Roubaix, type it in the YouTube, and I'm a Specialized fan. Firstly, I got to say I've been using Specialized product for 25 years. I've got a lot of S-Works bikes and Specialized product over the years. Currently have about 3 or 4 S-Works bikes. I have 28 bikes at the moment. Anyway, give my honest opinions here. So the new Roubaix Bike Radar advert, paid product placement, Cycling Weekly advert, Sigma Sports distributor advert, bicycle chain advert. Yeah, so these basically just adverts, cycling tips adverts. So they're never really going to give you the honest opinion. There's one of my ones from 2017. You're not going to get an honest opinion. You're going to get the bike's really good. It's better than last year's model. They're not going to fucking tell you the truth because they're paid to promote it, which is fair enough. This is marketing. It's business. You come to Durianrider, I'm going to give you the straight up, unsponsored, unbiased, right opinion, honest opinion. So here on the Specialized Australian website, 17,000 bucks Aussie, 17,000 AUD will get you the latest, greatest Specialized Roubaix, which in my opinion is a bucket of shit, and I'll tell you why. Now, the Roubaix is one of my favorite bikes out there, and this is last year's model, already getting sold really cheap. This guy's selling it for $4,500. It's got zips on there. It's got DR2 mechanical. It's got stages, power meter. It's a ripper deal. I can't believe he's selling it that cheap. But a lot of these bikes out there, they just get, they get sold quick. The bankers or the lawyers or the surgeons buy them. They upgrade. And this one's an even better deal. I shouldn't say better, cheaper. It's $2,500. You go there, $1,500 cash, man. You'll get it for $1,500 cash. So look at this. This is almost brand new. This is an SL4. This is Tom Boonen's favorite Roubaix bike. It's got SRAM mechanical on there, which is really good group set. This bike's going to be super light. Now this $17,000 bike is going to be a heavy tank. It's going to be sluggish. The disc brakes are sluggish. The E-tap, the mechanical SRAM, in my opinion, pisses all over the E-tap. And I have both group sets, and I definitely rate SRAM product. But the mechanical SRAM red, it's fucking awesome, man. It's click, 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 bang, bang, bang. The E-tap, in my opinion, in my experience, it's slow to shift. I like how easy it is to fit to the bike. From a mechanics perspective, it's good. But that mechanical SRAM red is bang, bang, bang. So look at this, it's $2,500. You get this bike for $100. Honestly, you go there. This bike has not been ridden, It's not been ridden. And it's also selling his tarmac as well. So you go there, $4,000, you're going to get both bikes. And look at that. Look how clean. This bikes are brand new. So Rick's probably doing a low-carb diet or whatever. The bikes aren't getting ridden. They're in immaculate conditions. So obviously you buy a bike second-hand, there's no warranty there. But at that price, if you break the frame from a crash or whatever, it only costs a couple $100 to fix it anyway on the chainstay or whatever. So deals are out there. He's even upgraded the derailleurs and shit on it. So, so if you're going to pay $17,000 for a bike, you want it to go really fast. But it's not going to go as fast as a Gumtree special for $2,000, the old Roubaix SL4, which is what Tom Boonen really loved. This is the new, or the 2017 one. And here's the thing. The pros fucking hated that head shock design. This is like, we don't need a fucking suspension. We're not fucking noobs. We are professional riders banging out insane watts, taking all sorts of shit to fucking ride fast, far and long, and we don't need a little bouncy head shock. So what a lot of the riders did is they put in a different cartridge. It was totally locked out. Now, Specialized didn't tell the public that, but they had to sort of tell the public when one of them failed and the steerer snapped. And so that would potentially could have cost Boonen the win, his last race there. But anyway, that's a different video, different topic. So let's have a look at Boonen's bikes. This is it looks like an SL2. Yeah, these bikes, man, if you ride one of these bikes are fucking fast. And Boonen generally got a bit of a custom spec set up. Slam that stem, long and low. And, just stuff like that. The classic bike with those, what looks like Michelin Axial Pro color tires. It's a classic bike. And this is the, looks like an SL3. And, should give me an SL4. Yeah, SL4, sorry. So, these bikes are light and they're fast and they're stiff and they've got tire clearance. You don't need this thing. This is like the Homer Simpson. Remember that episode where Homer Simpson buys this like the all-American car, all the fancy bells and whistles and shit? This bike, I like the paint. It looks really cool. Let's get a zoom in on here. But I noticed straight away, this thing here, this, they call it the Future Shock 2.0. If it's anything like the Brain 2.0, which is probably one of the worst products Specialized ever released in my experience. I got an S-Works Epic. Bought it May last year. I've ridden it a handful of times. The suspension is still fucked. It's actually back at the shop now. It's probably taken about a month to get serviced. So it's just a poor design. The Brain 2.0 is a poor design. Specialized, for whatever reasons they're doing these days, they are bringing out some really shit product. Back in the day, almost everything Specialized did was pretty fucking legit. But with suspension and Future Shocks, started in 2006, the quality just went, so-so. In terms of the frames, they ride nice, but this bike is gonna ride like a slug. It's got disc brakes, so instantly you got that weight penalty, the rubbing discs, the maintenance, all that stuff. You got the E-tap, the shifting's a bit slower than mechanical, and you got this headset thing here, which is probably going to come loose and rattle loose, and it's got oil in there. It's got oil. If you've got oil in a fork, it's going to be servicing issues, and it's going to go big back and forth from your bike shop. So you spent $17,000 on a bike that, in my opinion, is going to be a nightmare to service, and it's going to be yo-yoing around. It's also claimed to be more aero than the tarmac, which means fucking nothing. It's a fucking endurance bike. Look at those bars, those hover bars, the stack height's enhanced, so you're going to be sitting up in the air like Mary Poppins. It doesn't matter if your frame's a little bit more aero. This isn't not an aero bike, and aero doesn't really matter, man, if you've got a big flappy jersey on, or if you've got a big fat banker gut. And I love this 900 gram for the frame. The person who's going to buy this bike, again, ain't going to ride it that much, most likely. They're going to end up in Gumtree a couple years down the track, and someone like, yours truly might go and grab one. But the SL4, that's a ripper bike, man. That is a ripper bike. That build right there is probably going to be about 7.3, 7.4 kilos, I reckon. It's going to be very crisp and very snappy to ride. So for, it's advertised at 2.5. Again, you go in there with $4,000 for Rick, and you have his tarmac and his Roubaix. No worries. Thanks for coming. Anyway, if I was going to buy a bike from Specialized Road, this is what I would get. And often people say, they're just disc brakes bikes. The pros are using discs. The pros are paid for it. Do you think, here we go, Peter Sagan doesn't have a choice. He is told to ride this bike, Big Daddy from Morgan Hill saying, Pete, this is the bike you're riding this weekend. This is the bike you're riding. Not like, would you like to ride this bike? It's like, this is the bike you're riding. So they don't have any choice. They're basically told, this is what you're riding, part of the contract. If I was going to buy a new bike, a new road bike, look at all these disc brake bikes. Fucking hell, mate. Now, I've got disc brake bikes. I'm a fan in the wet weather. I'm a fan in the commuting, in the traffic and stuff like that. But for performance, no fucking way. I don't need disc brakes on the road bike for performance. I know to use my brakes properly on the descents, and I don't like the extra weight. Oh my God, this disc brake, come get out of here. This is polluting my eyesight. Look at that, they're pushing the disc so hard, aren't they? I've clicked on a rim brake bike, and they're pushing it. I don't want to see that. I find that incredibly offensive. I've ridden the this is the end of the story, right? I've done this, right? Go and ride the SL6 Tarmac S-Works, right? The bling bling. They're a fucking incredible bike, except for that bottom bracket that creaks. Ride that, and then go ride the disc brake bike. Jump between them. Go to a demo ride if you've got a mate that's got one or whatever. I've done both, and it's night and day.
Favorite bike?
Specialized tarmac.
Rim brake or disc brake?
Rim brakes.
I've got two giant Defiers, Di2 Dura-Ace, bling bling bling, and the rim brake version, night and day. And I put them on Natasha, and I didn't give her my rim brake bias, and she's straight away doing PRs and wanting to do more, Strava KOMs, attempts, and all sorts of stuff like that. So it is just the perceived effort on these rim brake bikes is a lot less. Rim brakes are just faster bikes. They're just faster. The only way they're not faster is probably if you're riding in mud, if you're riding in gravel, then definitely. If you're riding in gravel, if you're going to take your tarmac in gravel, wet roads, get disc for sure. If you live in UK and you ride to work in the traffic and you're worried about carbon rim safety in the wet conditions, then I agree. Disc brake for the win. But if you're a dry weather rider like I am, or you have a few bikes, I've got my disc wet bikes. And but I've got my bikes where I want every second counts in the bunch with the lads and the girls and the banter on Strava, then this is what I'd be going. So if I was going to get a Specialized bike, this is what I'd get. And I'd probably rip out that BB30 and chuck in a Shimano bottom bracket in there, because the BB30 design, it has to go. Specialized, rip that shit out and put in an outboard bearing or a GXP or a press fit or something, something better than OSBB, BB30. It creaks, it's inconsistent, it's like a teenage son or daughter. It's just, it's not really going to be reliable when you need it to be reliable. That's just how it is, and people can disagree with me, and a lot of people out there go, I've got a disc brake, why can't I notice it rubbing? And good for you, but the pros, they wouldn't be choosing disc if they had the option. They'd be choosing rim because it's lighter, it's faster, it doesn't rub, and simple as that. So, but anyway, this is just my opinion based on my personal experience. A lot of people share my personal experiences as well, but people out there, just go and test ride the bikes first. Test ride the bike. Jump on the latest Roubaix, sprint as hard as you can down the flat, bumpy road or whatever, and then compare it to an old SL4. And for me, it's night and day difference. You don't need, in my opinion, you don't need all that suspension and disc brakes and wanky stuff like that. A good old SL4 Roubaix is a legendary bike. The stack height's pretty high, but for people who need a bit of stack height, then that's good. You're sitting a bit more upright. But this whole notion that there's people out there who've got an SL4 and they'll go, oh, my SL4 is it's slower. It's not as aero as the new one. I've got to get the new one. And they're the people who are chucking those bikes on Gumtree for pennies. This bike is fucking brand new. This took me all of 1 minute to find here in Australia. So yeah, that's my review. I'm a Specialized fan, but you come to me, I'll give you an honest, unbiased, unprofessional, open and honest opinion. And that is my review of the Roubaix. Let's get back to the Roubaix. Let's have a look at how they cost, man. That's insane money, isn't it? That's some serious pennies. Some serious vegan burritos. But I really I think this is the RIP rim brake. I think we're seeing the end of the rim brake as we know it. And go and test ride one of these SL6 rims, man. They are a brutally fast bike. They're probably one of the most perfect bikes around, except for that creaky bottom bracket. That was probably the deal breaker for me. I can afford to buy any bike I want. And that bottom bracket design, it's, I'm not going to spend, 10 or 15 grand on the bike and then have to spend more money to make the bottom bracket right. I'm like, the company should do that for me. I don't know, but maybe I'm getting my first world problems all mixed up. But, so this is the Tarmacs, 15 grand, Avengers. It's all going disc in, look at that discs. All going discies, mate. Jesus, gee whiz. So they're really pushing that colour there. They're really pushing it. The average person who's buying these bikes is generally a new cyclist. They've been riding for 1 or 2 years, and they're like, I want to get S-Works, I want to have status, I want to buy status in the bunch, and I want to get that. So that's there you go, 10 grand. That'll be on Gumtree this time next year for 2 or 3, maybe 4 grand. And eventually $2,000. And buy that for 2 grand. You got a ripper of a bike there. You got an absolute fucking ripper of a bike. Apparently Specialized has ditched the Ruby, which is in my bike buyer's guide. I do rate the Ruby non-disc version. So there you go. Anyway, that's my comments and criticisms there. If you want more information, check out my bike buyer's guide. If you thought this video is honest, check that guide out. Is at Durianriders.com. The unbiased, totally upfront opinion that a lot of people can appreciate, a lot of people can't digest. But there you go, that's the deal. That is the Specialized Roubaix. And I love that we live in a first world problem. I can complain about bikes like this, and my life's pretty good. My biggest gripe of the day is that Specialized has released another shitty shock bike. Then my life's pretty good, isn't it? I think it's raining outside. But there you go. My favourite bike, endurance bike Specialized ever made, the SL4 or the SL3 or any of those Roubaix, man. They're a good bike with good tyre clearance, and they go good. There you go.